I'm gonna share with you my 5 favorite games to play solo. If you're not the type who wants to play a game by yourself, don't worry, these are still great games that work with even more players. Either way, you're gonna love these games and you're gonna love the video, so make sure you stick it to the end. Last month we made a video about our favorite couples game, but Valentine's Day is over and I am done. All these tiny little stupid hearts. Boom. I'm Evan and we are Being Friends. We are a channel dedicated to showing you how games can help you connect with others. Today's video is a little different though because it's more about how you can still have a great time with board games even if you don't have someone to connect with at the time. I say you're going to want to stick to the end on all of our lists, but in this case, I really want you to stick to the end because the last game on this list is my actual favorite game of all time. I cannot express enough how excited I am to share my #1 game with you. All right, let's finally get to our first game on the list. It is BAM! Welcome to. This game is a game where you are taking the role of an architect in America during the 1950s to build the best neighborhood in town. It's a daunting task because no one who's ever played this game has a clue how to design a neighborhood. You'll be building houses, creating estates, designing parks and pools. So this is something now. And welcome to, as you're building these houses and pools and parks, you're gonna be scoring points. And basically whoever gets the most points wins. It's a wonderful game because I can just pull it out and play it in under half an hour. Every time I've played Welcome to, there's a handful of turns that I just go, heck yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. I'm so excited. And that to me is just a great feeling. Paired with just the consistent level of simple yet enticing decision making. My next solo game I want to share with you is Robinson Crusoe Adventures on the Cursed Island. In order to survive, you'll have to manage both your time and your resources impeccably. And doing that well is exactly what this game is about. You'll have to build your shelter, craft tools, gather food, explore the island, fight ferocious beasts, and complete various other tasks in order to win the game. And it comes together in a way that's just a true adventure. I love this game because every single moment of it is incredibly strategically satisfying to me. At the same time, it organically tells rich and incredible stories that are just unforgettable. Those two things coupled together makes Robinson Crusoe one of the best gameplay experiences I've ever had, and I highly recommend this game, and it works wonderfully solo. If you're looking for a solo game, or if you just love cooperative gaming, this game has got to be on your wish list. You might be wondering, how can there possibly be 3 games that I put higher on the list than this one when I recommend this game so highly? You're just gonna have to finish the video to find out. But before we get back to our list, we're actually gonna ask our Instagram followers what their favorite solo games are and hear what they have to say. What's up guys, I'm here in front of my board games to tell you about some of the Instagram comments we got when we asked you what your favorite solo games are. If you agree with any of our followers, let us know in the YouTube comments below. Dead Bird Rip said Call to Adventure. I haven't played the solo mode, but it's a great game and I'm excited to try it out. Cinematic Board Game listed like 10 games. Architects of the West Kingdom, Tiny Epic Galaxies, /Quest, /Mech, /Zombies, because there's a bunch of Tiny Epic games. Thanos Rising, Death Eaters Rising, Terror Below, Samurai Spirit, Railroad Inc., The Last Bastion, and The Big Book of Madness. All of those sound awesome. Thanks for sharing. He also told me an interesting fact about the Hungarian word for board game actually translates to game played with companion. I thought that was really cool. The Average Meeple said Terraforming Mars, which is a game I am eager to play and I haven't gotten a chance to yet. Hannah Sim 18 said Spirit Island as always, and stay tuned for my thoughts on that. Lord Meeple's favorite solo games are Journeys in Middle Earth, Space Corp, and Legendary Aliens, which I've heard great things about each of those. Journaling My Geek Life said Marvel Champions has a great solo mode. I've only played it 2 players, but it was a great cooperative game, and like a lot of other great cooperative games, I bet it's awesome solo. Solo Table, his favorite is Terraforming Mars as well, but he also listed Gaia Project, Anachrony, Underwater Cities, Founders of Gloomhaven, Scythe, Mage Night, Australia, Wild Space, and Crown of Amara. Solo Table, you are a true solo gamer. MVP of the day. Thanks so much guys for responding, and if you want to join the conversation, there's a link to our Instagram page in the description down below, and we'd love to chat. Cut. All right, we're back with our list, and we're on to the next game, which, funny enough, this next game is actually also about Robinson Crusoe, but in a different way. In this game, you're Friday. And this game is called Friday. In Friday, your goal is to teach Robinson Crusoe the ways of island survival. Compared to Robinson Crusoe, this one's a lot more abstract, it's a lot simpler, and it's a lot faster. But this game is unique because it's actually exclusively a solo game. So I had to put it on the list because it's quite fun, and I'd call it ingenious. Friday is a deck building game, which means you're starting with some cards and you are, over the course of the game, refining your deck by getting rid of the bad cards and adding new strong cards into the deck to make something that is uniquely yours. And the way that this works is every turn you're going to be facing a hazard. If you're successful, that card actually goes into your deck, but if you lose, you take damage, and if you lose all your life, you're dead and it's over. Now, there's an upside to failure in this game. If you fail, you can remove cards from your deck. That means that your deck is going to be less rubbish than it was before and more efficient. What this emulates is Robinson Crusoe is facing these hazards, and if he does well, he gets something. He gets a reward and he learns something. But if he fails, he actually is learning from his mistakes. To me, that just feels like a really organic way to have a deck building game work. These mechanics coupled together creates a game where you are playing a character who's growing, changing, and even getting older. It's quite a challenging puzzle, and it even offers you plenty of ways to make it more difficult for the masters. For those reasons, I highly recommend this game. It is under $15. For any of you who've sat down and just played solitaire with a deck of cards for 30 minutes, I would recommend you try this out because it will bring a new level of strategy and story to what usually is just flipping cards and using them. It's now kind of the same thing, but you're on an island. The next game, here's the thing about this next game. It also takes place on an island. It's Spirit Island. I cannot express how much I love this game. It is so special. It is a cooperative game just like Robinson Crusoe that plays solo and plays cooperatively, and both ways work equally well. In Spirit Island, each player is going to be taking control of a different nature spirit and taking on a different role in protecting the island from the invaders. So really this game is about the relationship between the nature spirits and the invaders and the settlers. You're going to be moving these settlers around, killing them and just scaring them so that they hopefully leave, because they can't be there. They are tearing the island apart. They are hurting the land. It's just not good stuff. It's just not good. In the game, the worst thing that could happen is the invaders will attack the land and deal blight to the land. And blight in the game, it says in the rules, is physical but also spiritual damage. So your job is to prevent that. And to me, this theme is both just really awesome. I love seeing and even controlling the ocean or being lightning or the earth. Like, all of these different nature spirits are lovely or terrifying and awesome. But to me, what I love about this theme is what it means. It's emulating the idea that nature is sacred and it's important, and it is important to steward well. Back to why I love this game. To me, the way each of these spirits plays is all so unique and so thematic and rich that there's so much replayability. The way that each of these spirits interact with each other is fascinating and creates a game that I know that I could play forever. This is a game that will never stop giving me value. This is going to be one of my favorite games of all time, and it's going to stay that way for a while. It's so good. Okay, but it's not my number one. My number one is next. All right, I gotta go get it because it's huge. Oh, this game is insane. Recently, I played this game for the 20th time, and the average play time is about 4 hours, which means on top of setting up, taking down, organizing random things, I probably spent over 100 hours on this game alone. After all this time, I feel like I'm just getting like a taste of all that this game has to offer me. Similar to Spirit Island, I'd probably rather play it with someone else, but it is similar to Spirit Island. It might be at its best solo. Anyways, I have got to tell you what the game is. It is Mage Night, my favorite game ever, and my favorite solo game. So here we are. This is Mage Night Ultimate Edition. It's ridiculously big, and I don't want to hold it for the entire explanation, so I'm going to hold Mage Night, not Ultimate Edition. What can I say about this game? This game is spectacular, and it is something that, to me, no other game can ever come close to in the way that it's made me feel. The epic, legendary tales that is told, the brain-burning decisions, incredibly satisfying turns, and some of the most exciting moments in gaming for me ever happened in this game. So this game has to be the top of my list. I actually will say this though. I got it because it was a good deal, and I was like, looks pretty cool. Little did I know, would it become my favorite game ever, and I would go to buy the Ultimate Edition when it came out, which cost me like over $100. But I will say this, get the Ultimate Edition. If you're gonna get this game, get the Ultimate Edition. It is so worth the price. It literally was cheaper for me to buy Ultimate Edition rather than buy the 3 expansions when I already had this one. In Mage Night, you are a Mage Knight, and you're portaled into this land vast with opportunity and stuff to conquer. And in Mage Night, you start at level 1 already really strong, but as you play, you're going to be defeating things, you're going to be learning spells, you're going to be finding powerful artifacts, and just leveling up in a way that makes you feel so powerful. And by the end of the game, you're going to be doing ridiculous things often. And those ridiculous things are so rewarding to me. I think that this game shines when you look at a situation and you go, okay, this is not good, this is bad. And you look at it and you think a little harder and you go, wait a minute, if I do this and change this around in this way, and you realize, wait, I can do it. I can actually do it exceedingly well. And that feeling that you figured it out, not just your character you're controlling is strong enough to do it, but that you actually were smart enough to figure out how to do it. And when you execute that impossible task, it's exhilarating. To me, it's nothing else can come close to that. On top of all of that, it's an epic game. It's a legendary experience. By the end of it, you'll look back and go, oh wow, look how far we've come. This is a game about looking back at how far you've come. It feels like a holistic journey that you can't get anywhere else. Now, arguably, it actually works best as a solo game because each player you add to the mix, the game literally just becomes longer in a way that some people do not want. It becomes longer and slower. In normal Mage Night, there's so much downtime because your turns can take ridiculous amounts of time. In solo Mage Night, you play a turn and then you play again and then you play again the entire time through. So it's just more Mage Night per second, basically. Hopefully I got the point across. Mage Night is stellar and it is so good, and I love everything about Mage Night. And as a solo game, it's one of the best out there. Yeah. So this is my favorite solo game. The other 4, I adore them. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what your favorite game to play solo is. Whether it's your first time getting excited about board games or you're a die-hard fan like us, we've got some great content for you. You're gonna think it's hilarious. We really, really love sharing these games with you and sharing our passion for games. If you stuck around to the end, thank you so much for watching. We love each and every one of you.